Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a really exciting new recording of Poulenc's one-act opera, La Voix Humaine. It's one act, one character, one short scene, basically, about 35 or so minutes long. What an amazing piece this is. There are no bad performances. There really aren't, because it's such a specialized work and such a tremendous vehicle for an intelligent singing actress. And most of the people who've done it have been intelligent singing actresses. So, what's not to love? Anyway, this particular performance features Véronique Jean and the Orchestre National de Lille under Alexandre Bloch on the Alpha label. Now, Poulenc wrote this in around 1958-59, somewhere in there. The story is, of course, by Jean Cocteau. The plot couldn't be more simple, although some of you who are younger may not remember the fact that the French telephone system was sort of the laughing stock of the Western world. When you picked up the phone in France, you had no idea what was going to happen. And I remember vividly when they switched the whole system over to a modern exchange. It was like in the early 80s or somewhere around there. And I remember an article on it in The Economist magazine that said something like, tomorrow either the world will come to an end or France will at last have a telephone system. Because you never knew. I mean, you had party lines and people interrupting and disconnections and all kinds of rather entertaining issues. And that's what this is about. Aside from the soprano, who's simply known as Elle or she has no name, it's about telephones in France. And the story couldn't be simpler. A woman has broken up with her lover, and she is having a last conversation with him over the phone. And she's already tried to commit suicide. She takes pills and antidepressants, as Poulenc did himself. And she thinks he's with another woman, and he says he's not with another woman, and it ends with her wrapping the phone cord around her neck while she tells him how much she loves him. And it's really, it's wonderful. It's just an exercise in neurosis and despair, and really a masterpiece. Poulenc wrote it for Denise Duval, who created Blanche de la Force and the dialogues of the Carmelites, a fabulous French singing actress who also had a somewhat, shall we say, vibrant love life, and was the perfect partner to work with Poulenc on it. And she did work with him on it. I mean, she worked with him on the text setting and all kinds of details. It was written for her, and she recorded it in 1959, one of the great vocal records in the history of 20th century singing. It's amazing. So I think one of the reasons this hasn't been done all that often is because, that recording is so powerful and so clearly, I won't say definitive, of course, because there's really no such thing, but it's so characteristic of what Poulenc wanted and what the work can be, that it's a real challenge in terms of the competition. I've seen it a couple times. The American soprano Carol Farley kind of made a career out of it. I saw Jessie Norman do it live at the New York Philharmonic. She also was a major exponent of the work. Felicity Lott, another wonderful singing actress, an intelligent singer. You have to be a smart singer, did it. And now we have Véronique Jean, who is magnificent. She's absolutely wonderful. I mean, to do this piece, the musical setting is quite unusual because it's mostly recitative. It's mostly tonally ambiguous. It only rises to arcs of lyricism, really passionate lyricism, at the big moments when the woman talks about her suicide, when she screams, "I love you" at the end. There are moments where Poulenc's inherent, sort of that wonderful, wonderful, heartfelt emotionalism just breaks through. But a lot of it is rather dry. It's recitative-like. You have to follow the text. You've got to understand the words. Every word is crystal clear because it's Poulenc. And Poulenc spent so much time, working with natural declamation and setting of the text. You will not hear more beautifully set French than when you listen to Poulenc, whether his songs or his operas or anything like that. I mean, it's just wonderful. It's wonderful to listen to. It's wonderful to hear how he uses the words, but you've got to follow the words. And I didn't even look to see if they're there because you can understand every one of them. I mean, Véronique Jean sings just wonderfully. Let's see if we have a text here. Yes, we do. We do have a text. It's all here. It's all tracked. It's all in French. I mean, you're not going to get it in English, I don't think. But frankly, it doesn't make any difference because you can find it easily enough online, and you get a sense of it. It's the words are very, it's not like a complicated vocabulary. Of course, when she talks about, antidepressants, okay, yeah, maybe that's a little specialized, but it's really easy to figure out what's going on. The arc of the emotions is so clear, and Jean is really wonderful in making declamation interesting, because that's what this is all about. It's about being able to speak and sing the text. Well, you don't speak any of it, you sing it, but it's got to sound like you're speaking. It has to have that casual throwaway kind of declamation, but also clarity. And it's wonderful. The accompaniment is beautiful. Alexandre Bloch does a great job. The orchestra really carries the piece along. Oh God, it's just a magnificent piece. I listened to it a gazillion times already, and I've enjoyed it enormously. And so will you. So that's the major work. The coupling is the Sinfonietta, which is regarded as one of Poulenc's weaker works. And it can be. It can be because, it sounds, well, it's a Sinfonietta, but it's a very light piece. And it's kind of fragmentary. I think in the first movement, Poulenc's habit of, doing everything in 2-bar phrases kind of gets away with him. The opening, dum, bum, da, 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 da. It's sort of herky-jerky. How do you describe it? But actually, Jean-Luc Tango for Naxos taught us that the Sinfonietta can be marvelous if you play it quickly enough. Bloch doesn't. I mean, the finale's okay, but essentially the first movement is what makes or breaks the piece, and it's just too slow, I think. It still sort of falls apart. The rest of it is nice. It doesn't matter. You get this for Jean and La Voix Humaine, and that, for me, justifies the purchase of the recording all by itself. I enjoyed it enormously. The Sinfonietta was a throwaway thing, and okay, that's the deal. It's absolutely the deal. But if you don't know this work, you really should. It's just a tremendous, tremendous vehicle for a great soprano. And Jean is a great soprano. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.